The movie kicks off in a typical American suburban setting with a family of 4. Brent and Kendall, the parents, deeply love their kids but feel overwhelmed by how much their lives have changed since becoming parents. Their youngest, Josh, is a 7-year-old bundle of energy, while their oldest, Carly, is a typical teenager. Carly is engrossed in a phone conversation with her boyfriend, Damon, much to the dismay of her disapproving parents. Despite their concerns, Carly is determined to meet up with Damon after his final school test later in the evening. During breakfast, Sunyi, the family's housekeeper, overhears a tragic news story about a mother abandoning her infant in a car accident. Sunyi, accompanied by her daughter Lisa, plans to leave after finishing their cleaning duties. Later that night, the family anticipates dinner with Brent's parents. Carly, however, wants to cancel to hang out with Damon, sparking a heated argument with Kendall. Unbeknownst to Kendall, Carly has taken $100 from her purse to spend time with her friend Riley. The tension continues during the car ride to school, where Carly and Kendall clash yet again. In a moment of frustration, Carly lashes out at Kendall, criticizing her life as boring before storming out of the car. Back home, Josh innocently hits Brent with his toy ball, and although Brent initially looks annoyed, he brushes it off with a laugh. However, his frustration is evident as he kicks Josh's toy car before leaving the room. Meanwhile, Sunyi is busy preparing chicken as her daughter Lisa watches Josh play nearby. Suddenly, Josh accidentally hits Lisa with a mallet while playing. Elsewhere, Kendall is out with her friend, Jeanne, who is Riley's mother. They chat about Kendall's pregnant sister, Jenna. Kendall discovers that her money is missing from her purse, and Jeanne suggests that Carly might have taken it, drawing parallels with Riley's behavior. Carly is in class when the teacher receives a call to send a student to the principal's office. Soon, more calls follow, and cop cars surround the school. Unperturbed, Carly and her friend Riley head to the washroom, where Riley vents about her mother. They purchase edible pills from another student and return to find the school in disarray. Students are running everywhere, with teachers nowhere in sight. Amidst the chaos, they witness a classmate's mother attempting to climb the school's fence. A throng of anxious parents congregates outside the school gates, clamoring to enter, only to be thwarted by a barricade of police and security personnel. Amidst the tumult, a child flees to his mother for refuge, only to meet a shocking fate as she viciously assaults him with her car keys. Pandemonium ensues as other parents join in the frenzy, subjecting their children to brutal violence, some even resorting to open murder. Amidst the chaos, Carly and Riley manage to elude the mob, seeking sanctuary within the confines of Riley's car. Confusion grips them as they navigate the tumultuous streets, eventually finding solace in the familiarity of Riley's home. Meanwhile, Carly's boyfriend Damon remains unaware, ensconced within the examination hall, oblivious to the unfolding horror outside. With an hour remaining until the end of the test, parents gather outside the school, eagerly awaiting the return of their children. The invigilator notes the unusual sight but brushes it off. Damon finishes his test ahead of schedule and exits the examination hall, trailed by parents flooding in to reunite with their offspring. Damon, pleased with his performance, reaches out to Carly to share the good news. Upon arriving home, however, he is confronted by his inebriated father lounging on the sofa. Initially unfazed, Damon proceeds to tidy up the kitchen, only to be blindsided by his father's sudden attack, wielding a shard of broken glass. In the ensuing struggle, tragedy strikes as Damon's father inadvertently impales himself, succumbing to a fatal wound. Simultaneously, Kendall finds herself in her car, lost in thoughts of a recent disappointing encounter with a former employer, her mind consumed by memories of failure. The man's blunt words cut through Kendall's fragile reality, revealing the stark truth of her life: 2 kids, and 15 years of unemployment. The weight of her circumstances bears down on her, pushing her to the brink of a mental collapse. Tears stream down her face as despair consumes her. Amidst her turmoil, a jarring phone call shatters the silence, announcing Jenna's sudden labor. Kendall's frantic rush to the hospital is met with a surreal scene, a crowd transfixed by news reports of parental violence. Before she can absorb the gravity of the situation, her attention is pulled away by her sister's urgent call. In the delivery room, joy collides with horror as Jenna cradles her newborn daughter. The fleeting beauty of the moment darkens as Kendall witnesses her sister's terrifying descent into madness, her hands betraying a sinister intent. In a desperate struggle, Kendall wrests the baby from harm's way, emerging from the chaos with her niece clutched tightly to her chest. In a state of hysterical distress, Kendall beseeches the nurse for answers, her cries echoing through the corridors. With urgency, the nurse whisks the newborn to safety, cautioning of a pervasive madness gripping the parents. Outside the neonatal ward, fathers stand ominously, their gazes fixed on their offspring, a menacing aura surrounding them. Meanwhile, Carly and Riley finally find refuge in Riley's home, seeking solace amidst the chaos. While Riley retreats upstairs, Carly's attention is drawn to the television, where the unsettling truth unfolds before her eyes. The news report unveils a chilling revelation: a mysterious virus sweeping across America, compelling parents to turn against their children, driven by an insidious urge to harm. Carly's heart races as she ascends the stairs in search of her friend, Riley. The sight that greets her is a nightmare incarnate: Riley, gasping for air, ensnared in her own mother's grip. Shock propels Carly into flight, escaping the harrowing scene only to collide with a menacing figure wielding a blood-soaked bat. In the chaos-laden streets, Damon's presence offers a fleeting sense of security, his urgent warning urging Carly to steer clear of her parents' grasp. Together, they embark on a desperate quest to find Carly's brother, Josh, seeking refuge within the familiarity of their own home. Meanwhile, while Brent is taking a nap in his office, he suddenly finds out something shocking that scares him a lot. At the same time, Damon and Carly come back home, but they find something scary inside. Their peaceful home is now filled with fear because they meet Sunyi, the mysterious housekeeper, who seems connected to some violent events. Things get even scarier when they find evidence of a terrible crime, like a mop stained with blood. Carly rushes to her brother for help, only to discover that Sunyi has done something really bad. As Sunyi runs away, leaving many questions unanswered, another danger appears: Brent, who is infected with a dangerous virus and is not himself anymore. As Brent gets angrier, Josh comes out from hiding under the bed, and Carly begs him to run away. But Josh insists on getting his backpack first, refusing to leave it. The situation gets scarier when Brent focuses on Josh, losing control of his anger. He violently attacks Damon without listening for any reason. Carly and Josh try to escape, ending up in the dark basement. However, even there, they find evidence of Brent's recent destructive actions, realizing he had been trying to make the basement a fun place before he went crazy. Brent feels proud of something he bought, enjoying the feeling of achieving something. But when Kendall asks how much it costs, it leads to an argument that ruins their peace. Brent gets angry and defends his purchase, while Kendall feels hurt and tries to save their relationship. In his frustration and longing for his younger days, Brent destroys what he bought, showing how their marriage is falling apart, just like their dreams. In the midst of all this, Kendall admits she misses her old self, revealing the sacrifices they've made for their family. As Kendall walks through familiar streets, she worries about their children's safety, praying silently for them amid their troubled lives. As Kendall hears the scary messages on the radio, she feels terrified, but it's too late. She's already infected with the virus, heading home where her children are, whom she must now stay away from. Inside the house, Kendall faces Brent, realizing they're both infected. They desperately try to reach their children, Kendall with a saw and Brent looking for a weapon, only to find they have none left. In a cruel twist of fate, young Josh, unwittingly armed with his father's gun, reacts in fear, firing a shot that pierces his mother's flesh. The agonizing realization dawns as the truth of the stolen firearm surfaces, casting a shadow of betrayal upon the already fractured family. As Kendall's cries of pain echo through the house, the children huddle in fear, their sanctuary tainted by the echoes of their mother's suffering, a stark reminder of the irreversible fracture tearing their family apart. As the danger of their children's weapons looms, Kendall and Brent come up with a frightening plan. They rig the LPG pipe to fill the basement with gas, hoping to incapacitate their children. Kendall carefully seals the door to hide their deadly scheme. Unaware of the danger, Carly's curiosity leads her to investigate, and she becomes a victim of her mother's frenzied attack once again. As the poisonous gas fills the room, Carly's instincts kick in, and she realizes her parents' sinister plot. In a terrifying moment, Carly understands that her parents, driven by madness, are now her biggest threat. With each passing moment, the basement becomes a suffocating prison filled with the toxic fumes of betrayal and despair. As the suffocating gas thickens and their children's coughs pierce the stale air, Carly's mind races for a solution. With nerves of steel, she crafts a makeshift detonator, setting the stage for a daring escape. With the matchbox rigged and their fate hanging in the balance, Carly and Josh slip into the vents, their hearts pounding with each cautious movement. In the tense silence that follows, Kendall and Brent grow anxious, their concern mounting as the children's cries fade into eerie silence. Desperation drives them to breach the barricaded door, unaware of the explosive trap lying in wait. As the door swings open, a deafening explosion rips through the air, shattering the fragile piece and leaving chaos in its wake. Brent lies gravely injured, a casualty of their reckless pursuit, while Kendall, battered but alive, frantically searches for their elusive offspring. In the aftermath of the fiery blast, amid the smoke and debris, Kendall's desperate search yields a glimmer of hope as she finds Carly and Josh, battered but miraculously alive, their survival a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unspeakable horror. In the middle of Kendall's intense attack, Damon steps in to save the day, stopping her from causing more harm. Carly helps Damon control Kendall by locking her in a closet, hoping to stop her from hurting anyone else. But Kendall fights back fiercely, hurting Damon and managing to escape. As the chaos continues, Kendall's violence escalates, leading to a terrible moment where Damon is thrown over a railing, his life hanging in the balance. Brent wakes up and joins Kendall in threatening their children, planning something terrible. Suddenly, Brent's parents show up unexpectedly, bringing more chaos and violence. In a sudden and brutal twist, Brent becomes the target, and the idea of the family falls apart amid their chaotic and dangerous reality. As the home descends into chaos, each family member follows their instincts in a wild chase. Brent's father chases him, while Brent pursues his son, Josh. The house turns into a battleground, where even family bonds provide no safety. During this madness, Kendall begs for mercy, but Brent's mother refuses to listen. Kendall loses control and violently attacks the elderly woman, killing her with a mallet. Outside, the terror continues as Kendall sets her sights on Carly, the chase spilling into the unforgiving embrace of the night. The grandmother, a hapless bystander, becomes an unwitting victim of the unfolding tragedy, her life extinguished in the blink of an eye by the unforgiving force of Brent's careening car. The collision brings swift and sudden death, the grandfather torn from the wreckage, his life extinguished in an instant. Brent, unconscious amidst the carnage, bears silent witness to the devastating consequences of their family's descent into madness. After the chaos and loss, Damon stands out as a voice of reason, stopping Kendall with firm action. With the danger controlled, they face the harsh truth of what they've done. In the basement, the powerful parents are now powerless, with their children in control of their destiny. The parents try to pretend everything is normal, hoping to trick their children into letting them go, but the children see through their lies and stay determined. In a touching moment, Josh reaches out to his parents with love and forgiveness, bringing a bit of hope into their troubled situation. Brent, facing the consequences of what he's done, acknowledges his son's gesture, showing the complex mix of feelings in their broken family. As their terrible experience comes to an end, Brent's words linger, reminding them of the pain they've all suffered and the uncertain path ahead.